Live from the Talking Joe studios.
It's Talking Joe with Chief and Ben. Hey, I am the Chief, and I'm joined, as always, by my buddy...
Ben, how's it going, Chief? Happy New Year.
Same to you, my friend, same to you and all your family.
2019.
2019, yeah.
We're in, that's when Blade Runner is set.
Really?
Yeah, we're in it.
Okay, I need to revisit...
LA doesn't quite look like that.
I need to revisit that, because I reckon I've only watched Blade Runner once or twice.
Okay.
And I have not seen, is it Blade Runner 2049? Is that the sequel?
So good.
Yes, I don't know if I could stomach the 3 hours of,
well, you have to break it up into
cinematography.
Sittings.
Yeah.
Maybe tackle it in 2 sittings.
Yeah, sounds about right.
What did you get up to anyway?
Over the last sort of Christmas fair, the week and that.
I like to call it the Crimbo Limbo.
The Crimbo Limbo, yes.
It's
yes.
that
You're
sweet
still
spot between Christmas and New Year.
And you're still not back at work yet, are you?
No, kids still aren't back at school, so it's all just vegging out still, really.
Yeah, I mean, I was supposed to be first day back today, but the missus woke up with a 40-degree temperature.
4-0?
And supposedly at 4-0, that can be the start of brain damage. So
straight to A&E?
No, she's a nurse, so she's like, no, I'll be all right.
Yeah, wet flannel it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yes, I did not go to work today, so I had to be on daddy daycare duty. Well, I guess daddy daycare and also mummy daycare, because she was good for nothing.
Okay.
So I had a very stressful day looking after those two ladies in my life.
Now, I know you don't like New Year's Eve as a concept or as a night out.
I have not been out on a New Year's Eve night.
Or up.
I reckon, for 10 years. Okay. And I don't reckon I've seen the New Year in probably for about the last 5 years. I was in bed by 10:30 last night. Not last night, whenever it was, 2 nights ago.
Yeah. Blissfully unaware.
It's just a night full of drunken idiots, isn't it? And
yeah, I'm not saying you don't have to go
prices.
out. No. You don't have to go out.
Yeah, but there's nothing good on TV. I don't mind staying in if there's something good on, but there was nothing good on. So
yeah,
basically,
you wouldn't go to bed at 10:30 on a... What I'm saying is it's extra early.
No, 10:30 is about my bedtime. 10 to 10:30. Yeah, 10 to 10:30. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chief has a bedtime and it is 10:30.
I've not been up past midnight probably for a year.
You're like a gremlin.
The Super Bowl, I think, was the last time I stayed up.
Oh,
but we're coming into NFL playoff season, so I'll probably catch a lot of the late games there.
The Super Bowl, when is that? February?
Yeah, February. Maybe first Sunday in February. But I'll watch some of the late playoff games. But on New Year's Eve, I did have a drink. I'm not a big drinker at all, but I did have a drink. I was mixing cider and vodka.
What do you call that? A snake fight?
No idea. Basically, I bought some of them kiwi and lime old malt ciders, and I was mixing them with some cheap Lidl vodka. And I read ahead. The missus was in bed, I think, already at 9, and so I read ahead. I read issues 22 to 24 of G.I. Joe, whilst pretty vodka'd up, and they
best issues of your life.
Oh my goodness, amazing. Yeah. What about you? What did you get up to?
Well, for Christmas, Emma, my wife, bought me the Lego Firehouse, the Ghostbusters Firehouse, yes. 4,678 pieces.
Wowzers! You sent me the picture, and I was like, "Holy moly!" And my fear was, you are never going to get time to build that, mother.
I've been building it every night, and it's great. I'm worried. I actually like building better than, at the end, you sort of look at it, and it's like, okay, done.
Yes.
But it's so relaxing just to pop a film on in the background, and just each bag. There's probably about 15 bags. Each bag takes, over an hour. So
probably. what's your this is important. What's your setup for building a kit that big? You're not doing it in the living room on the living room table, on the dining room table, or
No, because I need to be in the sort of film room. So I've got a little coffee table and I've got a tray, like one of those food trays that people put food on. A tray.
Yeah.
A tray.
let's call it a tray.
So I put all the bits in there, everything, open all the bags, and then, instructions, and it's right out in front of me. It's perfect.
So do you do each bag, make sure each bag's separate? So it's easier to get to the pieces?
No.
Otherwise, if you mix all those bags together, your build time is probably increasing by ×3.
Oh, no. Not ×3. The bag coincides with the instructions. So bag 1 has probably a couple of mini bags in there as well.
But what I'm saying is, I used to take bags 1 to 10 and just mix them all up.
Well, no, you got freaking brain damage. I mean, what the hell would you do that for?
To increase my value, my time spent per money spent.
There's method in the madness. Okay, fair enough. But also, there's a spin on this.
But also, it's very frustrating when you can't find that little bastard 1x1 stud. Because it's the only one. It's mixed in with about 1 million pieces. That's when you start chucking stuff around. But anyway.
So I'm into my lighting kits, rigs for the Lego. And with a build like this, if you haven't got the lighting kit, it's useless. You can't see inside it, even in the bloody daytime. So they're designed to be put in after you finish the build.
Gotcha.
But with this thing, that would be horrendous. So I was like, right. So not only am I building it, I'm also integrating the lighting kit as I go. How
are the instructions for that? Is it?
They're fine. They're but they are written and portrayed for going when it's fully built.
Oh, jeepers!
But that's okay. It's pretty simple. It's just downlights on each floor.
Right.
But then there's these 2 front ones that if you waited until it was fully built, you're in a world of hurt. Yeah. So it's a slow old build, but it's incredible. I've just literally just now, I've just finished the rec room.
Right.
When they got a pool table, a kitchen. It's very cool.
Okay, a couple of questions. You have the Ecto one already.
Yep.
Which you've put the lighting kit in.
There's room for that puppy in there.
I'm assuming you're not buying or not going to buy, I know it came out a while ago, the Ecto 2 from that.
No, I won't have anything to do with that, Chief.
Okay.
Do you know what? The Ecto 1 does not fit in flush. It will fit in with the doors open.
Yeah. And you can't close the doors.
Yeah, which I guess why would you want it in there, living in there? So, the front's out.
You have it part out, part in, yeah.
The hood.
We're not going to talk about this at all, but controversially, I didn't mind that remake movie too much.
No, I don't mind the actual... my biggest thing was I don't know why they separated it from the sort of existing Ghostbusters canon.
It's completely new continuity, isn't it?
Which is literally you were watching a film studio go mad, because when the first trailer came out for that film, it comes up with some text saying 30 years later or something.
Does it?
And then they basically... in that time, from the teaser to the other trailer, they got rid of all of that, and it operated in a new space, didn't it?
Oh, right, yeah. The next question was, is this kit still available? Do you know?
No.
Like, if I want to buy it, it's got out of print. I know you got connections.
No,
so to speak. So that's how you were able to get it. But for the mere mortals like me, I got to pay a premium on eBay.
So when I went on the official Lego, it said ending soon. I'd imagine it's gone now, but you're not paying a premium yet. It's kind of as is.
It's still about 300 smackers.
I think Emma, I think that's how much it cost brand new anyway.
Yeah.
Emma got it off eBay.
Yeah. Right. Okay. All right. Okay.
But it's one of I've never built anything like it. It's incredible.
I know you're hunting. You told me you're hunting for the DeLorean, the Back to the Future DeLorean kit.
I know I was, and then I looked at it, and I kind of wish they released it now. It doesn't actually look that great.
Right, because you can actually do a couple of different mods on it within the kit to build the car from the first or second movies.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, so I've got that in the display case with the Ecto 1 at the moment.
I've just done the Back to the Future trilogy with Phoenix, actually.
Oh, nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Good stuff. Right, before we crack on with the issues we're reading, which are 19, 20 and 21, do we just need to obviously go inside Chief's mind?
What What's in there?
Yeah, and what's hacking me off, what's grinding my gears, etc. I was struggling this week to actually come up with something.
Oh, Chief's living in bliss.
Yeah, it must be the Christmas spirit. Good old Saint Nick or something like that. Or
but then you stumbled across something.
Maybe I've just not interacted with many people this week. So I did. I'm going to kind of shoehorn something in here, and it is inaccurate eBay listings. So basically, we all know the saga of Chief's phone, which I dropped down the toilet. Sent it off to the service provider. They said, we'll repair it for you, but we spotted that water damage, so it's going to cost you 269 quid. I said no thank you. I then purchased a refurbed iPhone 7 off of eBay. I think it was about 290 quid in pristine plus condition. Came brilliant, looked amazing. You wouldn't be able to tell it was refurbed. Then I noticed it potentially wasn't holding that much of a charge, and someone told me on these iPhones you can go to battery health, and it tells you the maximum efficiency, if you will, the battery capacity of how much it is compared to a brand new battery.
Yeah, you were probably running on about 60%, yeah?
I was running on 80, and basically anything 80 or below, Apple say you should replace. So I was like, bloody hell, and I've got this new pristine phone with a duff battery. So they were Apple were running a promotion at the moment where it's 79 quid for a new battery, or if you get one before the 31st of December, it's 25 quid. So I thought about doing that, but you had to get an appointment, and I couldn't get an appointment. And then, I checked the website of the seller that I bought it off of, and it says we check all the batteries to make sure they're of sufficient, capabilities or whatever. And so, clearly, I don't know what is. I guess it's just one man's term, because I bought it off of an actual eBay store.
Right.
It's just their term of it. The battery is fine.
80%. It's all right, isn't it?
Well, no, because then now it's 78, and that means it doesn't hold a charge for the whole day.
Does it not?
No. So I get up, if I take it off charge at like 7 in the morning before I go to work or do whatever, by like 6 p.m. I'm on like 5%.
What the hell are you doing on there?
Not a lot. That's what I'm telling you. All I'm doing is listen to our podcast. But yeah, so I emailed them up and I said, listen, jokers, I'm sending this back and you're sending me a replacement. But first, before you do, I want you to go through your inventory of in-stock Pristine Plus refurb phones and tell me what the battery health is on these, because I don't want you sending me another 80%er. So they said they've got some 90s. So they're going to send me a 9. I sent it back today.
Got a couple of 90s.
Sent it back today. On them, on the postage was on them, so that's okay. And then I'm hoping to get one before the weekend replacement.
That story is enough to grind any man's gears.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, I kind of shoehorned in the incorrect eBay listing, but yeah, next week I think I'll be back to work. So there'll be plenty of people that annoy me and do things that are.
I'm sure if I looked at my phone, it would say 80 probably. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Chief, why are you buying phones?
Yeah,
no one buys a phone. You just go to the bloody O2 shop.
Yeah, but if
I
want to
pay monthly.
Yeah, but my contract is like 16 quid a month or whatever. So if I want to get an upgraded iPhone,
that is a children's contract.
If I want to upgrade to a better phone, I've got to pay like 35 quid a month. I'm not paying 35 quid a month.
No.
Jogon.com.
Chief's phone woes.
One more thing before we
you won't pay that. You won't pay 16 quid a month or whatever it is, 32 quid a month, but you're happy to flush it down the bog.
Now
flash 290 flash cash.
Yeah. Well, I worked it out about what would be a better deal over the 1-2 year period or whatever. But yeah. So one more other thing, which is errors on the show. Errors on the show.
Damn it! It's the worst slot of the show. This
the one error made by that we're aware of. There could have been many more made by me and you to a certain extent. Last episode, we chronicled the adventures of Stalker and Flash, I think, chasing Major Blood on a bus. Flash comes in on the top of the bus, boosh, 2 foot in through the windscreen onto Blood. It wasn't actually Flash, it was actually Grand Slam. And it is pointed out in the issue that it is Grand Slam, not Flash. So we were duped by the red pads on the outfit.
I wasn't duped by nothing. I said what I saw.
Right. Did you?
Also,
because they mentioned
you were trying to make out that some other chumps have been plagiarising G.I. Joe comics just because they showed someone 2-footing a man through a bus.
No, I thought it was basically.
Give me a break.
Basically,
man.
in the DC The Flash comic, there's a cover from a book in the 90s, 94, because I know I own it, and it's a picture of Flash coming in through the front of a bus, 2-footing some bad dude, and it looks like an homage to that G.I. Joe issue, or a swipe. I said, is it a swipe or is it an homage?
Every man at some point in their life has 2-footed another man through the windshield of a bus, Chief. You can't. Yeah. There's no way that some guy in '94.
No, he might have been a massive G.I. Joe fan. Is what I'm saying.
He could have been.
Let's hope so. Let's hit him up. Rob Haney, I think it is, or something like that. Anyway, yeah, that's it. And before we move on, a little bit of a shout out to Old Wolf Ears, Mark Seddon. He's done some good behind the scenes research for us and feeding me some tidbits of information and pointing me in the direction of good panels and good blogs and websites. So shout out to our new behind the scenes G.I. Joe historian.
Indeed.
Right, let's crack on.
Let's do it. Chief, you're going to recap this for everyone?
So at the end of the last episode, we finished on issue 18, which was actually a 4-part story arc going into 19, but we kind of cut it off at 18. And what had happened here is the Joes had captured Scarface from that excellent business in Libya, taken him back to their base along with a wounded Baroness and a captured Major Blood. Destro and Cobra Commander and all those high echelon guys are happy because now the plan to poison and kill all the G.I. Joes with the infected Scarface is running, and then also Quinn and Snake Eyes are still trying to confront and seek some revenge on Dr. Venom.
Yeah.
That's basically where we left off.
Okay. Now, Chief, please can you recap issue 19 for me?
Issue 19?
Yeah.
Right, so what are you saying about the cover? The cover.
I've got it in front of me now.
The cover here is a hiss tank with Destro, and he's kind of shooting at Joes. It's a bit generic.
Oh yeah, I remember it now.
Nothing overly special. It's just kind of a scene, It's just an assault scene, which will happen later.
His tank's in there, which I like.
Yeah, his tank's good. I mean, this issue opens with a load of shirtless Joes building some kind of fort. That opening page, there's about 4 or 5 of them. They all got their shirts off.
Tops off, isn't it?
Tops off for the ladies.
Sun's out, guns out.
Sun's out, guns out. And then bottom right.
They all look identical as well.
Bottom right is the Baroness on a stretcher, on a gurney, and she is literally like an Egyptian mummy. She is covered head to foot in bandages and wrapping.
Yeah. Mummified,
if you will. Yeah, so the Joes, they're expecting now a Cobra attack. I don't why. So I'm a bit confused about this bit as well. And again, maybe it's just because I didn't read the issue properly or I was drunk when I read it. I don't think I was, but Cobra has given a poisoned plague toxin carrying Scarface to the Joes. So why do the Joes now think Cobra are going to attack them, or why are Cobra?
Oh, because he just spills the beans instantly.
Yeah, but I mean,
he just says, "Oh, by the way, I've got this, coursing through my veins."
Is there a tracking chip on him or anything, or I can't remember.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, how do they actually know?
Why do the Cobras go? Does someone?
No, because they take him to. No. Yeah, so they take him to somewhere, don't they? So they can lure the Cobras in, and but they actually take them to where the pit is. They think that's the best plan, don't they? It's got the motorcade on the top,
it's
and
got
they're
the
like,
motor pool.
we're just let them think that it's the surface.
Yeah, the chaplain's assistant's motor pool is above the underground pit, and they build this fortress, don't they? Which then they raise up through hydraulic lift.
Yeah.
And then when Cobras attack and all this soft, weak wooden buildings, whatever, crumble. There's this big iron steel fortress which they've somehow built overnight.
Yeah, on the whole, I enjoyed most of this issue because you got a full-scale kind of Cobra invasion, which we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
Like hundreds and hundreds of troops, vehicles, and it made me laugh that as soon as they found out where the location was, Cobra Commander was just like, right, full scale, we're sending in everything.
Yeah. Because surely Cobra Commander was aware that as soon as Scarface was captured, Scarface was going to tell the Joes, "Oh look, I'm carrying a plague toxin."
Yeah, that they didn't really follow that out because
unless that was another either clever plan by Cobra Commander that he didn't care about, or it was a double action. Either Scarface doesn't let on, and he does kill the Joes. And if he doesn't, they're going to attack anyway.
Yeah, but Scarface got no interest in doing that.
But also
he wants the antidote.
Scarface. No, he palmed it, didn't he?
Ah.
Scarface palmed the antidote from Dr. Venom or whatever.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But so Scarface didn't know he was poisoned because he was told he was getting the cure in Libya. So how did he know? Anyway.
Oh no. He did know. He got poisoned in the scrap at the end of that Libya issue.
Right. Yeah.
But
General Flag's here, and he takes his sunglasses off.
Yeah, and then he gets shot, and it was great. I thought it was about time, really. I really liked the way this issue really did wrap up loads of stuff. Quinn takes it. General Flag takes it. Who else takes it, Chief?
Venom.
Yeah. Venom. Yeah, they basically wrap it all up. Quinn's not my fave, but I thought they ended his little story quite well. The only thing I did not like in this issue was the execution of those stupid robots that Snake Eyes and Quinn get put into.
Okay, so...
And then after the thought, they just say, oh, by the way, they're brainwashed in there as well.
Yeah. I mean...
and Venom's controlling them.
That's where Snake Eyes and Quinn bust through the roof of Venom's... He's got a seedy shack in Brooklyn or somewhere, I think. Immediately they get in. Snake Eyes gets... No, that's right. Cobra turn up, I guess, just to get Venom and say, come on, Venom, we're going to attack the G.I. Joe base. We need you. And because Venom doesn't give the secret code word, the all-clear code word, when Cobra turn up, Cobra like, oh my God, something's gone wrong. So then there's a big firefight, and that's when Snake Eyes decides to get into some... It's kind of like...
It doesn't even actually show you that there's two of them. I was surprised when
it's a version. It's like just a big clunky suit of armor, like a big Iron Man suit of armor, but way more clunky. It's called a Snake, and I know you haven't got the issue in front of you, or maybe if you have, you're not on the right page. Do you know what Snake stands for?
No, what do you mean?
That's what they call that suit of armor is an
sorry,
acronym.
yeah. So no, I missed that.
No one knows.
Oh right, okay.
Well, you do, but if you're a fan, but it's called a System Neutralizer Armed Cloaking Equipment, and cloaking with a K because obviously it's Snake.
Yeah, Snake Eyes doesn't even need to go in that thing. It's so weird that he even wants to.
So he gets in that. He thinks he's just getting into a bit of armored equipment to fend off these Cobra troopers, and that's when Venom goes, oh yeah, by the way, I'm telepathically or somehow he's mind controlling Snake Eyes. That's never explained, is it?
No. He doesn't even mention that there. He's at that point, you just think that he's mechanically controlling it.
Oh, okay. By remote control or something.
Meanwhile, there's nothing really going on with Quinn, and then when they turn up on the battlefield, it's like, oh Christ, Quinn's in one of these two.
Yeah, right.
And then he basically says, by the way, you're under my mind control.
Yeah. And then also he says, by the way, you can't shoot against Cobra Blue.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff going on around that.
Yeah.
But to be fair, they weren't in them for that long, and they bust out.
Snake Eyes over...
Quinn kind of... Didn't you think that Quinn, he wussed out a bit and then just started...
Yeah, so Quinn got out. Basically, Snake Eyes shot the lock. He can't shoot the Cobra Blue, but he can shoot the lock on Quinn's Snake suit of armor, which lets Quinn out, and then Quinn gets Snake Eyes out. And then, like you say, Quinn has got Venom at his mercy. He's grabbed him by the throat, and he's
just about to do it.
He's about to do it and get ultimate justice and kill him, and then he's like suddenly has a change of heart. The man he's wanting to kill for about 10 issues.
Yeah, he starts going on about the weasel. It's like his eyes are rolling back, and he's just going. He's like, no. And then
Venom does the dirty on him.
Venom does the dirty on him, but he's already popped the grenade. And he's like, I'm not going to kill you. And then he sort of dies.
As he dies, the grenade rolls out of his hand, and Venom's like, oh shit.
But the cool thing about this is, because I'm conditioned to, when I was reading this, I was like, yeah, but they're not really dead. Something's going to happen. And I was like, wow, no, these fools are, and I was quite impressed with that.
Yeah, you say that, but,
Oh, crikey.
No spoilers.
No.
Yeah, and then on the other side, when you said a couple of guys bite the dust, so Quinn and Venom have gone. On the other side, in the GI in the pit or the fort or etc. that's risen up, Scarface and Major Blood have been left handcuffed to like a prison cell. Doc's there, and then Doc hears something land on the roof, and it's a Cobra sapper, and he's coming with a bomb. He set a timer on the bomb to blow up the base, and then whilst he's like, Doc's going, what's going on up there? He's distracted. That's when Scarface, I think it is, or it's either Scarface or Blood, knocks him out, a wrench to the head. Standard. Knocks Doc out, and then in comes Flag with a pistol. He gets knocked out, and then Blood takes the pistol, shoots Flag, and you're like, surely he's not dead.
Great moment. No, that was a great moment. He needed to go, Chief.
Yeah.
Well, he's got to go because Hawk, I'm imagining, Hawk goes upstairs and takes his place, caretaker, and then I'm imagining we're going to get introduced to Duke soon at some point. That's just what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Duke is on the scene soon, my friend.
Because I know for a fact that Hawk, he's not really, he's very much involved at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, I imagine we're going to get Duke involved.
Yeah. So then we get.
What happens to Scarface? Does he just leave him?
Yeah. Major Blood is true to his cowardice. He just dumps Scarface and basically gets up to the roof, kills the sapper, and gets away in that Fang helicopter.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what it's called. Fang. Yeah, I had one of those.
Yeah,
nice little toy that.
And then I think Scarface is still he doesn't die. I don't think. I think he's just still held captive in the fort.
Okay,
but then that blows up. That does blow up. So
yeah. Also,
I guess he's assumed dead.
There's a scene where Cobra Commander almost spills the beans about Baroness being alive,
that's a nice
and
scene.
Destro like, what the heck?
You told me she was dead, and then he
like,
quickly
no,
backtracks.
I meant she knew a lot.
Yeah, and then Cobra have destroyed the base, and they just bugger off, and that's the end of that. So basically, it's wrapping up a lot of plot points, and I think this is kind of almost the end of what you'd call season 1.
Yeah, I thought it was well done.
The next issue is very transitionary, even.
Yeah.
It wraps it up. You've killed a few players. Cobra have now think they've destroyed the G.I. Joe base. It wraps up. I think Fosberg's art here is really nice throughout the whole issue.
Yeah.
And yeah. Couple of
what
things.
Do you think?
Couple of things just to point out before we Yo-Jo it or Yo-Jo Cola it. You mentioned CoverGirl and why you didn't know CoverGirl. She was a US exclusive toy, and also apparently there was a Hasbro thing where they didn't want to introduce too many female characters because they were worried that boys weren't going to want to buy female action figures in a military-based line. So
back then they were probably right.
They limited it to one female per wave.
So archaic.
Yeah.
But I'm interested. You haven't really let on what you actually think.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it. So obviously we're ranking this as a 16, 17, 18, 19.
Yeah, we are. And I have to say, this issue has brought mine up.
Yes, and likewise, exactly. And I'm finding this with media in general these days over the last year or two, whether it be books, comics, movies, TV, whatever, video games. When I watch or consume something, I'm like, yeah, that's all right, or that's not very good. And then literally after like 2 or 3 days of mulling it over, pretty much universally, my opinion goes up. I never generally get a downward grade.
you have to marinate on stuff.
Yeah, but it never marinates down for me recently.
No, I think that's so important. I don't think you need to let it stew and think about stuff. It's very difficult after you come out of the cinema or whatever you're consuming. Like someone says, "What do you think?" It's like, well, I don't know. I got to sit on it.
Yeah.
You know. And actually, wouldn't you agree that the opposite is true? Where you come out super pumped and sort of really loving something, actually comes down a bit.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't have a downward curve. Seem to be.
Okay.
I only go up, baby.
Fine. You start pretty low.
Yeah, I do generally start pretty low because I dislike most stuff. But
well, hit me up with the Yojo Colas on this arc.
So this one, I'm going to compare it directly with the previous one. It's kind of two 4-issue arcs that are linked quite heavily.
Yes.
So the previous one was the Destro Revealed arc. Where we saw his face, etc., for the first time, and they go in the plague toxin. They go to that factory store, whatever. And I think this is actually slightly better.
Okay.
So I'm going to give this a. It's going to rank as my second favourite G.I. Joe story so far.
Yeah.
Do I give it a 7 or an 8? Is the question.
Well, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of 7s, so I'm probably going to give it the highest 7 that I've given so far.
Okay, so
I don't think it is an 8. I think that's crazy talk.
That's fine. So I think I'll do the same. We'll both give it 7, and we'll both give it our highest 7, which means it slots into position number 2 for both of us.
Yeah, which is exactly where it should be. Good stuff all round. Good. So basically, we're still saying that issue is it 6?
Issue 11.
Oh, is it 11? Sorry.
The pipeline ploy.
That is a high watermark.
So we both gave that 8. That is a high watermark. Yeah. But this, Harmer's writing was great. Apart from that one silly scene with the toy planes, which,
Yeah, and I didn't enjoy the sort of little snake eyes thing in that stupid snake machine.
Snake machine, yeah. But apart from that, I thought art was solid. It was good. Good stuff. So let's move on to issue 20. Let me just get the cover up for this one a second. I'm just referring to my bound books here. This one, this is the cover with Clutch on the front, and he's fallen from the sky.
Yeah,
I like that
now,
cover.
Chief,
I like that
cover.
cover.
Yeah, it's a good cover. Now, do you want to tell everyone what this issue's about before I pour my hot boiling scorn on it?
Yeah, so this is a guest written by Stephen Grant, who wrote a previous issue. Pencils by Jeff Isherwood, D'Agostino and Tartag are the inkers, Rick Parker's the letterer, and George Roussos is the colorist. I didn't give credits for the last one because I think the credits for 19 were the same as 18 and the rest of that arc. So this one is called Home is Where the War Is, and this is basically a synopsis. I'll give it to you in a few words. Cobra want a jetpack. Well, that is basically the synopsis of this issue, and they want it bad, and Clutch is due some R&R, some rest and relaxation, decides he's going to go back home to, I think, is it New York he lives or somewhere like that, and he meets up with an old friend of his from back in school, and it turns out that his friend is embroiled in some sort of Cobra shenanigans against his will, and he's a techno expert, and they're making him build this jetpack because they want that technology. And that is the synopsis of the story, effectively. Yeah,
now in TV land, this would be called a filler. We
Correct.
got ourselves a filler.
Yeah.
Polyfiller.
And in comics terminology, this is called an inventory issue.
Okay, so it's a bit too long for me to say that.
Filler sounds much better. What they do is they'd store up a lot of issues where they were running behind schedule, or because they want to produce a monthly book, 12 a year, and if they're running behind schedule, they don't, or for whatever reason, they have these pre-done issues which can a lot of the time just slot in anywhere because they don't touch too much on continuity.
Yeah, and what's going on in the bigger picture.
And the time frame doesn't really matter. So they have these, they can just, we've got to plug in an issue here. This is kind of what one of these is.
Yeah, but if you're going to have, let's face it, our favourite issue so far is a filler.
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of. Well, it's a standalone.
It is a standalone. It introduces that specialist Destro, but, Yeah,
but if I'm going to have fillers, I want them to be, still some kind of a mission, a skirmish.
Yeah.
I thought this was really uninteresting, and the first 8 pages, him going on on break. I was like,
it starts off. They're in some training exercise with a load of other Joes.
So it's very brief.
It's kind of standardised. You think they're on an actual mission, and at the end of it, oh no, look, it's actually some cardboard cutout of flag pops up or something like that, and it turns out that
Yeah, I knew what we were in for straight away.
And
as soon as he goes on leave, I was like, okay, I get it.
He goes on leave, and there's a great scene of him walking across a bridge, and it's reminded me massively of Rambo. He's walking across a bridge, like one of them big suspension bridges or whatever. There's no one around in sight. He's coming to a small town, and then suddenly he's got his bags packed. He doesn't know where he's going, doesn't know what he's doing. He's just going home, but you don't know where he's going. And it just reminded me of Rambo, this lone figure, and there's going to be trouble brewing. And then some crazy purple racing car, pulls up. Who is it? It's none other than Billy Klein. Good old Billy. Yeah,
from
some old, I guess his old school buddy, is he, or something?
Oh, no. Sorry, I thought that was actually a reference to one of the kids in an early issue. Sorry, I'm confused.
No, just some blonde douche. And he's like, where are you going, Clutch? At this point, you don't know Clutch's name, but actually, they tell you. Well, I guess you do because it's his file card. I guess
people still call you Clutch.
Yeah, Lance Steinberg, I think it is. That's probably on his file card for the action figure, but they haven't mentioned it in the comics at all yet. He goes, come stay with me, whatever. So he ends up taking him to some Wattash automotive company, and it turns out that Billy's is some whiz kid techno dude. He's like, stay in my rec room, whatever. You can crash here for a while. So I don't know what Billy's angle here is.
No, wait, Billy is the guy that is working for Cobra.
So his family, you find out later, his family's been kidnapped, and they're making him build, kind of like that dude in Rogue One. What's the dude in Rogue One? Jin's dad.
Yeah.
He's been conned into building the Death Star. This dude's been conned into building a jetpack of all things, because that will help Cobra win the war.
Yeah, nothing really interesting happens.
He
calls in the rest of the Joes, and they sort it out, Chief.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. You get some. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much all that happens. Clutch starts sneaking around, finds it is a secret Cobra base he's on.
It's actually full of bloody Cobras.
Full of bloody Cobras.
There's loads of them.
I'm looking here on this page. He does a wrench to the head, because you need a wrench to the head in pretty much every G.I. Joe comic. To one of the Cobras, he gets the gun, whatever, and then Billy comes up behind Clutch and wrenches him on the head. Oh no, it's not a wrench, it's something. He clocks him on the head, knocks him out. Basically, the Cobras say, we want to test this jetpack. We're going to test it on this. Do they know he's G.I. Joe yet or not? I don't think they do they? It's just one of Billy's mates. So. We're going to strap this jetpack to this guy and blast him off into the air as a test.
Yes, that's funny actually.
Billy hands him a knife, hidden from the Cobras. Clutch manages to chop his way out of his ropes that he's in, and then basically manages to hotwire the jetpack, because it's run out of steam or juice. Right, it's like 1,000 feet in the air. And on the free fall, he manages to hotwire it with his fingers, because he hasn't got any tools.
There's some really nice panels actually towards the end with that little jetpack scene.
Yeah,
that's probably the best bit of the issue.
He goes back to his school. He finds an old teacher. An old auto shop teacher. They manage to somehow build some super armored battering ram car. Clutch drives it over to Billy's house, where he suspects Billy's family is being held hostage, but he doesn't know that for sure. I don't think, unless Billy told him. But I'd probably bypass that.
No, he does.
Oh, does he?
Because
Billy tells him.
He's confused about why he's turned.
Oh,
he's like, look, mate, I bloody had to do this. They got the fam.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, but did he tell him the fam? They're holding the fam hostage at his house. Don't know. Anyway, they call in. He calls in G.I. Joe. There's a bit here which was pretty shonky. The G.I. Joes are at the Cobra base or whatever, or at the house. Don't know, the house or the base. And they're on the roof, and they're about to abseil down in. I think it's Short Fuse, and he says, "Have to hand it to you, pal. Those are Cobras, all right." And I'm like, yeah, there's about 10 of them in Cobra uniforms. I'm like, of course they're Cobras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shonky.
And then one of the Cobras decides he's going to get away on the jetpack. Clutch decides, Billy made it, and they want to kill Billy because they don't want Billy making duplicates for any other buyers on the market. So they all try to kill Billy. They shoot him. he tells Clutch, wait a minute, I built a spare one just in case. Oh yeah, that's handy. Clutch gets it out, and then you get a, jetpack v jetpack fight.
Yeah, that's where the good panels are.
Yeah,
I mean, it's low stakes.
Cobra's got a Luger, the Cobra guy. Good old, if you need a bad guy weapon, let's pick a Nazi Luger. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a fight. My favourite panel is the one towards the end where they're scrapping and the Cobra's jetpack gets damaged and the Cobra trooper falls down into some sort of gas tank, and Clutch speeds away, and he's thinking to himself, so that's what happens when a jetpack hits a gas tank. Billy must have used an unstable fuel. That could have been me, and that crummy jetpack had kicked in. So he's like, yeah, that's what happens when a jetpack hits a gas tank. I always wondered.
Yeah, always saying what you're thinking.
That's it, and then that's pretty much the end of the issue.
Yeah,
we don't need to spend too much time on that one, I don't think.
No. Sounds like you liked it a little bit more than me.
Doubtful. If I'm looking at our chart of GI's best story ever's, my bottom one is The Diplomat, which was also written by Stephen Grant, and the one above it was Sea Strike, which was issue 8, which is the one where Cobras attack the at Cape Canaveral. Your bottom one was A Nice Little Town Like Ours, which was issue 10, which I can't believe you didn't like, and then the one above it is also Sea Strike.
Yeah, with what?
That you give them both 4.
Yeah,
that's your 2 4s.
Yeah, I will probably give this a 4 as well.
Another 4, okay.
Yeah.
Where do you want to slot it?
I think it.
Is it?
No, it's not the worst. No, I really didn't like that.
I can't believe you didn't like issue 10.
No. I don't want to say it's the worst one that we've read. I'd probably slot it in between.
Okay. Yep. Second worst. That's fine. You can do that. And so you're giving it 4, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. And I will give this. Is it worse than that Diplomat issue? I'm going to say no. I don't think it is worse. So I will put it just above that one. So yeah. So second bottom for me as well. And it gets a. Oh no, that means I have to give it a 5 though. Yeah, that's all right. I'll give it a 5. Whatever. Yeah, 5 Yo-Jos.
It's done.
It's done. It's in the books. Cannot be reversed. Right, so now we are moving on to issue 21, which obviously every Joe fan will know about this. It's called Silent Interlude. It takes place with no words, basically, throughout the whole issue, but, the storytelling on display is absolutely incredible.
So coming from someone so how historically important is this in the big picture of comic books? In terms of, I'm sure it must have been done before, but
yeah, there's a good bit. I bought the Silent Interlude hardback, which is it's 10 quid, and all you get is effectively 2 issues in it. You get the reproduced issue 21 with the recoloured issues, which is probably what you've got in your collected issues. You get original layouts and storyboarding by Harmer, and then you get another issue 21 from the IDW comic, years later, where Harmer scripted another wordless issue, and you get a little 2 or 3 page introduction. So there's not much to it, to be honest, but the first few pages are quite interesting, because whoever the writer of that introduction is, I can't remember, but he mentions, if you asked a lot of people what their, and comic pros, etc., especially, what their best story in all of comics is, you'll get a lot of Watchmen's, Dark Knight Returns, Mouse, a lot of these other classics, Killing Joke, etc. You won't get much G.I. Joe stuff in there, but if you ask those same people what their best single issue or the most influential single issue is, there'll be a massive percentage of people who'll say this issue. So
yeah,
I think what it did, it was very influential, and Larry Harmer was a editor, a writer, an artist, a letterer. He pretty much held every job there is to do in comics, and it's surprising how little art he did in G.I. Joe, because he penciled this issue, and I think Steve Lealoha was the inker. And Harmer pencils 26 as well, but his composition and storytelling is amazing.
Where does it say that he pencils it then? Did you say that at the beginning?
Yeah,
because I was trying to figure out who the art was done by. In this.
So on
the opening page.
Yeah, page 1, Larry Harmer story and breakdowns.
Oh, okay.
Steve Lealoha's finishes.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Sorry, and that just means that he drew
yeah,
it.
The other thing was apparently the comic itself was falling behind schedule, and they'd already had that inventory issue 20 or the filler issue 20, and they didn't have any extra reserve pages in the tank, to publish. So Marvel needed a comic. They had about a week to do a comic, and normally the turnaround time is probably like 2 months or whatever. It probably takes an artist nowadays. An artist will take a month to draw it. The writer might be doing 2 or 3 books a month, whatever, but they generally like to plan sort of, obviously you've got to get prints sent after it's been penciled by the artist. It's got to go to the inker, it's got to go to the colorist, to the letterer. So you're probably talking 2 or 3 months turnaround time for an issue. And apparently there was 1 week to get this done. And Harmer said, look, if I draw it as well as write it, I can get it done. And apparently he did it in like 3 days or something ridiculous.
Wow.
And he's like, if we don't letter it, that will save us another week or whatever. This issue, we get the first appearance of Storm Shadow.
So good.
First appearance of the Red Ninjas and the Silent Castle, or Castle Destro, the Silent Castle. We'll see this again in issue 120.
Yeah, some of my favourite stuff from this issue is just how stunning Destro is drawn.
Yeah.
And also the way he's just sort of musing on everything.
Yeah.
He's just sat there.
It's amazing.
Ticking.
I mean, you see this opening panel is just fantastic. It's a Cobra Claw, which is a vehicle we haven't seen yet. It's like a Cobra glider almost. And you see it from behind, so you don't know. The cover, first of all, the cover is Snake Eyes on a rope. He's either climbing or abseiling, shooting guns, and it says the most unusual G.I. Joe story ever.
Yeah, and it looks like such a modern. It looks like a Snake Eyes that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
It looks like a really modern cover.
Full on ammo belt. He's tooled up. It's a turning point. This is the start of season 2, effectively. But that first panel, you see someone's flying it, someone's trussed up, but you don't know who it is. You can't see yet, but you see this thing coming in over this mountain range. This imposing looking castle. And then the claw lands, and some dude hands a sword to some dude dressed in white, whips it out. I love all this motion when he's pulling the sword out. You get this glinting off the sword and the motion, and he definitely cuts open the carrying bag or whatever that the hostage in. You see it's Scarlet, and Cobra Commander's like, holy shit, we've captured Scarlet here. Take this bitch away, man. Lock her in that cell. Sorry, probably shouldn't say bitch, should I? But yeah, and you kind of, in terms of, what's happened here? Basically, Scarlet's been captured, and Harmer did release for a publisher called Devil's Due Press when Marvel canned the series, and then a few years later, Devil's Due Press picked it up. And,
a little prelude.
And there was a mini series called Snake Eyes Declassified, I think it was. And Harmer drew a 5-page prelude, exactly, to this issue. And what we're going to do is we'll probably post those 5 pages up on the Facebook page as a Facebook exclusive.
Yeah.
So get your ass over to Facebook, and we'll put up those 5 pages of the prelude story. And
does it explain? Because Scarlet's quite battered, but
she's got that.
Shadow did the nice thing of putting a little plaster
on her face. But but it's not in actual fact. It's not really important. You don't need to know, do you? You don't need to know what's happened.
No,
you're just assuming there was a mission or something's gone wrong, and it is briefly talked about, in like 1 or 2 panels in issue 22.
Okay, yeah,
and that's possibly because this issue, there's a rumor that this issue was gonna have words and it didn't, but I'm not sure if I believe that. But then
visually it's so striking. Words.
It's so striking. Then you see this C-130 transporter, and there's a figure, on the hangar bay door, and then suddenly just jumps out, and then whoop, close up Snake Eyes.
Yeah, he looks badass in that hangar
Proper
door.
Badass.
That's probably my favourite set of panels of Snake. It's so good.
Yeah. And you see Scarlet, and she's like, trussed up in this underground. Is it an oubliette? I think that's what it's called. It's like a dome prison. And it's kind of a tender bit here. Storm Shadow, you don't know his name yet, I guess, but he goes and he puts a hand and he kind of touches her cheek. She goes to bite his thumb. I don't really know. Does he feel like...
No, I'm not. I don't read that as tenderness.
No?
No.
Okay.
I'm reading that as...
We've got you now.
Yeah, we got you.
I have
precious
you now.
little flower.
Yeah, right. He goes to grab his sword. She bites his thumb. He goes to grab his sword. He's like he's going to chop a hand off or something. He thinks better of it. Leaps out. And here's a colouring error here in my copy. Because Scarlet is now the last panel on that page. She's in a blacked out, silhouetted. Yeah. But on my page, I've still got that circular opening coloured yellow.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Oh, you've got it coloured yellow as well. Yeah, so it should be coloured. It should be coloured out. Yeah, as blacked out. Yeah. I
can't remember. Are you a fan of Storm Shadow? I remember you not being a fan.
Yeah, love Storm Shadow.
Love Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a different chief.
Yeah.
Now you get these are the best. This is the best we've ever seen Destro drawn.
Okay, so we've got
the next panels,
close-ups of his eyes, and he's intense, man. He is proper intense. He's studying.
Detail.
He is studying his computer. He's like factors: altitude of intruder aircraft, high wind velocity, darkness, lack of landing zone, probability successful airborne insertion, 0.000018. So he's like the radar's picked up some bastard coming in, and the computer's saying this guy's got no chance of landing. But Destro's like he's musing in. He's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And Snakes lands. Meanwhile, cut back to Scarlet. She's got a hairpin. She's picking that lock. Snake Eyes abseiling down.
This is the best we've seen Scarlet drawn as well. This is basically the best we've seen by far. Anything drawn.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. Just the
no
storytelling from Harmer, and especially the finishes by Liloha is it's just every panel has a purpose and a meaning, and there's nothing excessive. Sometimes you'll read an issue like, that's a bit, they didn't need to put that in there, but every one of these panels is spot on.
Yeah.
There's a great one there on that page.
Destro is also lamenting about Baroness, isn't he?
Yeah, because this, on the chessboard, he's got chessboard, all the pieces, and
he's got Quinn there.
Those four ones are the presumed dead. So Quinn dead, Scarface dead, Dr. Venom dead, and Baroness is off the board because he still thinks she's dead. Yeah. That's a great panel, that one. Storm Shadow, I don't know why he's gone back in to check on Scarlet. I'm not sure under Cobra Commander's orders.
No.
That's irrelevant.
No. Wait a minute. Are you sure, or are you not just thinking that's a jump cut to basically him shutting the? What is he doing?
No, he's already shut.
How's that happen?
He's opening up the opening to the prison cell.
Yeah, it's the last we see.
Yeah, he shut it. So
I actually read that as him. Oh, he's just gotten out and he's going to shut it. And
all right, okay,
bang, she gets him.
That would. The only reason that doesn't make sense is because on the previous, where we last saw her, she was silhouetted as if.
Yeah, but I think that's the error, isn't it? It's just a.
Well, I like the way you're thinking there, because it's pretty widely acknowledged that the colouring error was that the opening should have been recoloured. But yeah.
There's no way he is going back in to check on her there. He's shutting it.
Okay, interesting. I like it. I like
because
your theory.
We haven't. What could he? Where's he been? It hasn't been explained.
I like your theory.
Anyway,
she's all in black though in the previous one, so there's
something basically just not right with that last panel for sure.
Yeah, I think he's going in to check on her. Cobra Commander said summon her, bring her up to the courtroom or whatever. But anyway,
I honestly read that as 0 seconds have passed
right
in that particular structure, and you just cut straight back to what he was doing.
Yeah. But
anyway, she yanks him down.
She's got a chain, boom, round the neck, yanks him down. She's getting out, but then he's grabbed her foot. Classic kind of horror monster movie. She's getting away. Yeah. Whoops, the bad guy's still there. Then she absolutely clocks him right on the schweed with the trapdoor opening thing.
Yeah.
Boosh. That's going to leave
Smashes
a mark.
Him.
I love Scarlet. Cut back up to Snake Eyes. He's on the parapet of the castle. A couple of Cobras have come across. He's knocked out one of the Cobras. Couple of swung around the corner. Seen his handiwork. Level their guns at him. Whoosh, daggers. Whoosh, whoosh. I love all this fast motion. He's like blurred, isn't he? As he spins these daggers.
Absolutely love the way that Destro's just sitting looking at his monitor, and then he's like, "Whoa!"
There's a dead body. Dead body's come over the wall, past his window. He's like,
and it's a great panel of him leading the charge up the steps.
Fantastic.
He's like, something's going on.
Yeah,
up he goes.
Lead some Cobras. There's literally about, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if not more Cobras coming up the steps. I'm going through my issue and I've got adverts for Atari and stuff. I can't pass them. Yeah, he sees a Cobra Trooper lightened on the deck, obviously been assaulted by Snake Eyes, who's pointing up the steps. So they all go past him. He's not been assaulted by Snake Eyes. It is Snake Eyes.
Yes.
In disguise.
Stealth.
Then you see the Cobra hanging off the roof. I don't know why he didn't shut that one down. But
who the heck are all these red ninjas, Chief?
Yeah, so we don't know. You don't find out for a long time, actually.
No, okay.
Well,
but they're under Storm Shadow's command.
In the Snake Eyes Origin issues? Can't remember.
Are they Storm Shadow's sort of posse?
Yeah. Well, in this instance, they are. Yeah.
Okay.
They'll switch sides many times over the course.
God, Storm Shadow is so iconic to me.
That middle panel there, where he's doing some sort of Arashikage hand signal, and he's lit.
He's not summoning them.
He's lit. Yeah. He's lit in kind of this yellow glowing thing, and they're all doing the symbol as well. And then they all drop down. And I love this last panel because that motion of them dropping down, and they remind me of Big Trouble in Little China, with the three Furies or whatever they are.
Yeah.
Because you've got one guy with a sword, one guy with a couple of sais, and then one guy with a sickle and a morning star or a ball and chain, whatever it's called.
Short straw at the weapons rack, or
I don't know. What would you have out of choice? Would you have a sword, a
sickle?
Sickle? I don't know. No,
I don't think so.
Never seen it.
Not unless I was toiling out in the field.
You ever seen it in a martial arts movie? Guy with a sickle.
This makes me think of the USSR.
Yeah. I don't know. I like it. Inventive.
Yeah. Then we've got Scarlet doing some damage. She's found a glider.
Great panel of a couple of guys just walking around the...
I tell you what Chief loves. Two guys being bopped together.
I love it. Gung Ho did it, didn't he? Gung Ho did it in earlier issue. She clocked these two guys, then boosh, boshed them together. Very Roger. Jumped on this claw glider thing, and she's off. Snake Eyes, meanwhile, has found the prison where she's been held.
Yeah.
And then some red ninja tries to blindside him, tries to put a sword through the back of his head.
Utilising that hatch.
Yes.
A lot of people doing that.
Yeah, because Snakes picks it up, clocks this guy, looks to be probably unconscious, but then he gives him one more for good measure.
Yeah. I love Snake Eyes' new get-up in this.
Yeah.
Is awesome.
This is full-on commando get-up.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And then we get a little homage to Raiders of the Lost Ark, where there's a ninja in a doorway spinning his sai as if to say, "Look, I'm got you now, boy." And then
it's very cool the way he tosses that grenade.
He chucks that M1 grenade.
Ding.
He's at it.
That's nice.
See you later.
You see the size.
And another great panel. Snake Eyes coming up some steps, and hidden in the doorway, one on either side, is the red ninja with a sickle and the Morningstar ball.
He grabs the ball.
Yeah, he grabs it. This man's made of steel. Chain round the neck. As Storm Shadow goes into swipe, flings the red ninja round. Storm Shadow's drilled his own man. Snake Eyes.
Storm Shadow, actually, in hindsight,
doesn't come off well.
He doesn't go badass on anyone, does he?
No.
He gets it handed to him.
He gets a 2 foot. He gets 2-footed to the face here as well.
Yes, that's like one of that Virtual Fighter, one of those finishing moves.
I liked Virtual Fighter actually. Played a lot of that in the arcade. Snake Eyes escaping. In swoops Scarlet on the claw. She's happy to see him. In another great panel with
bottom left Scarlet's face.
Well, I'm saying top right, where Storm Shadow's appeared kind of haggard in the doorway, and he's lit in yellow again.
Yes, look at that shadow and the legs. Oh,
and then he's literally flinging his sword straight at Snake Eyes' heart. And then last minute, Scarlet has come down on the claw right in front of Snake Eyes, literally to take the blow for, because obviously we've seen a lot of clutch hitting on Scarlet and her rebuffs to him. And there was perhaps one or two bits where, it was intimated that was there something between these two, but it was never mentioned or said. Because she shed a tear. She shed a tear, didn't she, when she thought Snake Eyes was dead earlier?
Subtext was there.
Sure. She's going to take a sword for a man, And
but it's just so good the way it cuts back to Storm Shadow's eyes as he's like, is it going to happen?
And then Scarlet's face in that bottom left panel, she's wincing her face because she knows it's coming. Snakes whips his arms round in front, grabs the sword out of the air, flings it back, boomtown.
Yeah, and just a great
they take
great
off those last three panels, especially the last two, because Snake Eye's forearm gear has been ripped, and you see this I Ching symbol on his arm. Is it a tattoo? And then Storm Shadow, his bandage is unfurled, and you see the same symbol on his arm, and you're like,
these ninjas are linked.
You don't even know Snake Eye's a ninja yet, though.
Yeah, but he's pretty handy.
Holy moly! And you're like, what has just happened?
Also, you've been introduced to one of the most iconic characters from G.I. Joe.
Storm Shadow,
in Storm Shadow.
Incredible.
I mean, it's just, but the artwork's incredible.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And I mean, I've got those too, and I'll post this picture up. Mark said and's done a good little comparison. He's that last page. In fact, he's put the newsprint issue, which is the one I'm reading, and he's put it right alongside the new recolouring, so you can compare them both. Because I read my old 1980s issue, and then I read it again with that new colouring from that Silent Interlude hardcover. But
hey, so what's the original release of that, Chief? Yeah.
So it would have
4 or 5.
It would have been 83 still. Let me.
No, it can't. It couldn't have been. Could it?
Let me just get the issue here. Yeah, 21. 21 is March. Oh no, you're right. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, what am I talking about? March 84.
Why does mine say March 83?
Wait a minute. Unless my one is a reprint. Wait a minute. Your one says March 83. Maybe. Oh yeah, it does. What is going on here? I think my issue 21 I've got might have been a reprint then.
No, definitely.
Yeah, I thought it was 83.
Okay.
So February 84. Why does my issue 20 say February 84?
No idea.
Don't know what's going on here.
That's rattled you though.
19 January 94. They don't say second print on the inside cover. Don't know. Anyway.
Anything to do with getting them over here? No.
No, I bought them. I bought them from East Coast Comics in America
yeah, okay.
when I was a youngster.
Well, it was a hell of a nice tonic after that god awful issue 20.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Is it?
And I've read that looked.
Yes.
I've done that issue before.
Yes, of course.
A few times, just because it's super iconic.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd ever taken it in quite like that.
No.
Probably because I've been reading everything that's come before it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's definitely the start of something new, isn't it? It's like,
Oh yeah, you could. Yeah.
But the story. We don't need to tell people how good the storytelling is, because if you're listening to this pod, you know how good it is. So, it's just a question of is it? I know you're reluctant to give anything a 10. I'm giving it. It's a. I don't even have to. I don't even have to think. That it's a 9. Can I go 10? I don't know.
I can't. I don't like giving things 10s because you got nowhere to go there. You got no wiggle room.
Yeah.
But a 9 that means I'm pretty much love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I'll put you down for 9 Yo-Joes. All right. I'll give it a 9 as well. I mean, I'll probably get some backlash. People saying this is the perfect issue. You've got to give it a 10. But like you say, once you've gone 10, I mean, you can give other stuff 10s and you can grade on a 10 curves if you want, but I'll go 9, because what I might do is, at some point I might pick out a few of these just to regrade. Once we get to issue 100 or whatever, it might be the case of, I'm just going to bump this up one or bump this down one. So we're giving it 9 Yo-Joes each at the moment, slotting it in as our number 1 choices, but down the line, you never know what might happen.
I'd like the art to continue at that standard.
Yes, yeah. So I've read 22, 23 and 24. Admittedly,
cool your jets,
like I told you while I was drinking the cider and the vodka, but I am going to read them again.
Hazy reads.
Yeah. Because we get 24 has got a guest start by a guy called Russ Heath, who did a lot of military comics, and it's his one and only issue, and the art is fantastic, and it's I think it will probably be your second favourite issue.
Well, from what I'm we're not going to go into it too much, but from just flicking and having a little look, things are heating up now.
Yeah.
From what I
For
can
reals.
see. I think we're getting into, don't people always say kind of 20 through to 60 is the absolute sweet spot?
Yeah, I'd say that's right. Right.
For this series.
I think next.
So we're really coming into
next
it.
issue, next episode, we've got a couple of options. We could either do 22 to 24, or we could do 24 to 22 to 25. 26 and 27 are a 2-part Snake Eyes origin story. So what we'll do is, if you've got time to read 22 to 25, do that, and then we can either decide to do 3 or 4, depending on how well you think it would work. But
okay.
Okay.
I'm happy to play it like that.
Yes. Can't say too much, but we might have some exciting news about a potential guest on the show coming up. But again,
plans are afoot.
I don't want to mention who it is, just in case it falls through. And another thing is we've commissioned some nice original art by a fantastic G.I. Joe artist from this era, which I'll be posting up on the social medias, the Twitters, the Instas and the Facebooks for all to see and love. Give us some love, tell you what you think. I'll post that up in the next couple of days.
Nice. Chief, have you got any questions for me?
Oh, holy moly. Would you believe I completely forgot?
Did you?
I did, yeah, honestly.
You asked me quite a lot of questions about the Ghostbusters Firehouse.
Honest to goodness, I'm literally lost my mind there. How can we have a show without Chief Ask Ben a question? But we're gonna have a show without it.
This is it. You asked me quite a few questions.
And I'm looking at the clock. We're clocking in at 1 hour 5. We're over an hour, which is our sweet spot. So we don't want to leave the listeners hanging too long.
I think we had to. I think Silent Interlude deserved a bit more of an in-depth conversation, didn't it?
Tell us what you think of Silent Interlude. Find us on Instagram. We're Talking Joe Comics. Find us on Twitter, Talking_Joe. Find us on Facebook at Talking Joe, a G.I. Joe podcast. We should now be available on Spotify to listen to, iTunes, Castbox, Podbean, wherever you listen to your pods. Let us know what you think. Thanks for listening and all your support, guys. We appreciate it. We're having a blast as always. You keep listening, we'll keep speaking. You keep listening, we'll keep speaking.
Did we think about maybe trying to get some questions? What is the best way?
Yeah.
Have we got a Gmail account yet, Chief?
Yeah, we've got a Gmail account. It's talkingjoecomics@gmail.com.
Any question.
One.
That'd be great.
Just get one question, yeah.
Doesn't even have to be about G.I. Joe.
It can be about anything.
Ask us what you want.
I found a load of my old action figures up in the loft here the other day, so I'm going to take some pictures and post them up. I need some O-rings to fix some of these broken hips and waists.
Yeah, the rubber bands, they rot, don't they? They
it.
perish with time. Yeah. How many you got? Like 50?
No, not that many. Probably about 30 maybe.
Yeah, I've seen you actually got some pretty good ones, but I'm guessing you're not going to be parting with them.
Oh yeah, you're in.
You got a Storm Shadow, haven't you?
No, I've only got the reissue Storm Shadow with the grey and the white and grey fleck. I don't think I've got the original one anymore. Did have, yeah.
Yeah, post them up.
Yeah.
Post them up.
All right,
For sure.
cool. Have a good week, everyone. We will see you next week.